What's up, guys? Clay here at Triangle Academy in Franklin, Tennessee, PSF Nashville. Let's take a look around. So we come in, we got the front desk over here, Christy holding down the fort, and then that area all the way around here. Everyone getting ready for 7 p.m. practice tonight. Got our IBJJF wall here for the students. Get down. Here. We've got our Worlds wall, our Pan Am's wall, right here. And then these are just our local tournaments. Finished out this wall and starting down the hallway. So this is where all the action happens, but we'll slide back here. We've got a couple side rooms here, inventory and coaches. The gym goes all the way back here. We've got a kitchen, kind of a hollow shell right now, but we're tearing out this sauna. We're putting in an ice plunge and another newer sauna so we can really focus on our recovery. And we've got our restrooms here on the back wall, and then around the corner. In the very back are our men's lockers and showers here, women's lockers and showers here, and the back door for everyone that can't hack the training.
I don't always stand up, man. Except this guy. This guy doesn't fucking stand up. I got stand up this week. What's up, Pete? How you doing, dude? Good to see you, good. Well, this is yes, it is.
You need again?
Yep. Yes, sir. Okay, thank you.
Oh. How you doing, Heath? That's all good. I need to go be late.
What
up, baby? Come on, for the camera.
Anyways, I think it might have stopped at 2 simple I lost second round. So we've got our head coach Heath Pedigo here, came down from headquarters tonight. Jacob Couch, the newest black belt on the team. He competes every once in a while too. Let's do this. Let's slide on down, make our 4 lines. We'll kick off our warm up.
Warm ups. Come on. Are you serious? Not warm up.
Yeah. As we go into the February and through each week, we'll add some guard passing, opening the feet and so forth. But just getting that concept down of when you're in someone's guard, you stand the fuck up is so important. Because once you pick them up, all the sweeps and arm lock, they can't open and shoot a triangle or shoot an arm lock without opening their feet and falling to the ground. You picking them up cuts all their options down to a fraction, and you have to worry about less things while you're opening the guard and starting your passing. If you try to open the guard on your knees, all their sweeps and triangles, all the platters we drilled last month are all something you have to look out for while you're trying to pass. We were working on side mount on Tuesday. We're going to take a deviation from our part 2 and let Coach Heath teach class tonight.
We'll get right to it. Couch. This is Jacob Couch. He borrowed Clay's belt. Okay, so from what you guys just did here, okay, the stand up, we'll just kind of go from there and then get into the side control, north-south stuff. That's what you've been doing, okay? So, like Clay said, we're going to step up same side. Okay, take couch up, okay? And once they're up, our elbow is kind of like the radar here. If it's touching on the inside of his knee or if it's touching something, that means that if Couch sits up, this is as far as he can set up, okay? So I can keep him kind of pushed down. Once he's up, we can let go and go inside the knee and break this guard, okay? While he's sliding down, all I want you guys to do, can you come back up? Okay. You ain't 185, I can tell you that. Yeah, right. Okay, so as soon as you guys feel this, remember, lower them down, don't let them just fall. And at IBJJF or any competition, if I pick him up, I have to be able to control him back down. So if I pick him here and we just push him down and he falls, okay, you don't necessarily want that to happen, okay? So I'm going to push inside the knee, and when I feel this, open, we're going to step over on the same side. So I'm here. As soon as it breaks, we're just going to step up and over into the, what do the kids call this? Headquarters position, okay? First thing I want you to do is step over, grab, and I just want you to pull them into you. That's all I want you to do right now. So, same thing you just did. Pick them up, push them down. As soon as it breaks, before their butts hit the ground, I want you to step over and then just sit them up here, okay? We'll just do it for a few minutes. Switch. Everybody got it? Yep. Same person, do 4 or 5, switch. All right, let's go.
Go to the college. How's it going? There you go. Stand up. Both feet to the floor. Now bring your elbows to your ribs. Now stand up. Okay. Yes. There you go. That's the idea.
You guys are lucky here with Clay. He's a very active grappler, okay? So the more reaction I do, the less chance I have to be offensive, right? If I'm on defense the whole time, it's like when you played Pee Wee basketball. They told you that then, it just didn't mean shit. Well, it's kind of the same thing now. Okay, pressure, 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 offense, 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 and yeah, you get the rest, all right? All right, let's choke them out, okay? Let's go.
4-minute live matches from standing to the sub. When you tap your partner, stand up and run it back again. What I want is about 20 groups out here and everyone else fucking off on the wall. We can load this mat up. Grab a partner and let's go.
coming out and sharing the mats with us visitors today. You guys have an amazing place, and thanks for giving me the time to let me teach them stuff and yeah, just spend time with you guys. I'm really proud of Clay and all of you guys for what you guys are building down here, and it's a really incredible thing to see, just changing lives, and it's really amazing for me to see. Clay always keeps me posted on the game plan, and you know, everybody constantly moving forward, whether it be competing or just being a better human being. Regardless, it's an amazing space you have. So thanks for, like I said, having me, having Jacob, I guess, as well.
You guys can have a seat for a second if you want.
Yeah, it's but it means a lot to come and train with you guys. The level goes up constantly. You guys are always raising the bar. The last time I was down, a lot of people that have, you know, had 1 or 2 stripes on their white belt or blue belts now, and it's really awesome to see the level keep going up. You know, you guys representing the program and kicking ass. So I'm gonna turn it over to Clay, let him do his thing. But we're really proud of you guys, and to be here for, you know, any promotions or anything that's happening. It's really awesome. So thanks, guys, for having us. Appreciate you. Okay.
Some of you guys might be meeting Heath for the first time today. You know, having him and Jacob come up on practice is just so incredible. You see these guys all over flow grappling and all over, you know, the jiu-jitsu world. For those of you that may not know, you know, I didn't start under PRETO, and I started for about 8 years. I started jiu-jitsu when I was 15. Until I was in my 20s, I was coaching at some other gyms, training at some other gyms that weren't at a very high level. You know, I was not learning good jiu-jitsu. I was not kind of where I wanted to be in the sport, and had a weird mindset about it from that first gym, and just kind of a weird kid in general. And Heath, back in the day, this was even before the laundromat, back when we were like in a garage door behind a Hardee's or something like that, something real ghetto up there. And Heath was, I think, like a fucking purple belt at the time, and he would always tag everyone in the posts on Facebook. You know, it's like 50 people tagged, hey, open mat in Mount Vernon, everyone's welcome. And the environment that I came from was very much like, you know, kind of culty, like you wear our gis, you train in our gym, you don't cross-train, you don't post about going to visit other gyms. It's kind of like our way or the highway. And Heath was just the complete opposite, just open doors and come train, make everyone better, kind of how we try to do it here. And I was like a purple or brown belt when I went up and trained with Heath, and the white belts in the room just curb stomped me. Like, I cried on my way home. I was like a 23-year-old dude. I just cried on my way home because I didn't understand how I could just get beaten up that bad. And I thought I was, you know, really good until I started going up and training with Heath. And then in spite of how embarrassing it was and how hard it was, what made me keep coming back was that Heath was so encouraging. You know, I don't know why he wanted anything to do with me after watching everyone just run a train on me over and over and over again. But he kept telling me to come back up. He kept sharing stuff with me that even my coaches wouldn't do. You know, the coaches at that gym wouldn't go with me to compete or, you know, wouldn't share my posts on social media or anything like that. It was no support. And I wasn't even on Heath's team, and it was the complete opposite. You know, I felt like he was in my corner, and all those guys would, you know, make me feel like I was included and just tell me to come back and keep getting better. And it was just a level of support from someone that wasn't wearing his patch, that wasn't, you know, doing anything. And I did that for about 2 years. And over the course of that time, you know, Heath never asked me for a dime. He never asked me for a drop-in fee, didn't ask me to join his team, didn't ask anything of me except just come get better. And it really opened my eyes to how jiu-jitsu could be and should be. And then eventually, you know, I switched over, and now we have PSF Nashville and get to be a part of something really big and awesome. But it's all because Heath just instilled in me that idea of like jiu-jitsu's for everyone. We're here to help each other out, and all the politics and all the gym, you know, gym rivalries and all that bullshit needs to stay outside and not be a part of what we do on the mats. So everything that we built here is a result of just Heath being forthcoming and having a greater vision for what jiu-jitsu could be. And that's pretty fucking awesome. Okay, that's about it.
Maybe we do Blake's fourth.
More straps for him. Blake, purple belt.
Looking thick after all those those croissants.
Dude, I was 227 when we got back.
Guys, 6 months after Blake got his blue belt, he was the #1 ranked blue belt on the planet. Finished out most of the season ranked #1.
Stuff, brother. Guys, Blake, 2022 adult blue belt world champion. That today means more than so much. The guys who win these blue belt adults and women who win the blue belt adult, they're basically the next black belt up and coming champion. So it's an amazing accomplishment, one of many for Blake. But so yeah, you're the man, Blake. Congratulations, brother. Here you go.
All right, guys, girls, thank you all so much for coming out. I appreciate everyone. Thank you, Heath. Thank you, Jacob, Sophia, Jonathan. Appreciate y'all coming out. Let's go. Hands in the middle. Let's go hands a little higher.
There you go.
PSF on 3. 1, 2, 3.
PSF! Thanks, guys.
My name's Blake Brown. I train at PSF Nashville under Clay Mayfield. I originally started when I first moved to Nashville from Evansville, Indiana. I started because I wrestled in high school, and I basically just found whatever gym worked with my job at the time, because I worked night shift as a nurse. And then there was a guy I trained with named Bachman, who just recently moved out of town, and he invited me to open mat in Triangle, and he said that it's the hardest open mat in town. Their white belts are super aggressive and super rough. And I was like, oh, I wrestle. Everything's gonna be easy after you wrestle. So I just showed up, and my cousin, who's a black belt owner, Lucas Leitch, trains at Checkmat in La Habra in LA. He came down and trained with us, and we kind of did the whole let's go to a bunch of different gyms sort of deal while he was in here. We came to a night class in here, and on the way back home to my apartment, my cousin, he's basically the jiu-jitsu encyclopedia. If I have a question, I ask him, he tells it to me. And he told me that if I continue training at the gym I was training at, I'm going to keep getting better. But when I'm ready to try and win a world title, I had to change to this academy, because you have to have hard training in order to compete at the highest level. And when you train at a Pedigo gym, you always have a team behind you, no matter what. So that's what I loved about that. We did the Atlanta Open, we did the Indy Open. There was a bunch of guys from Daisy Fresh there. After that, we went down and trained the laundromat, and that was probably the second time I'd ever met Heath. The first time I met Heath was when Clay got his black belt. And then after talking to him, because Heath fought in hook and shoot. He was a hook and shoot champion, and hook and shoot was from my hometown, and I probably actually watched a bunch of his fights when he was fighting MMA, because I used to watch them all the time. Went to Pans, lost second round, and a few months later at Worlds, in the finals, I had a huge dude. He was the guy that Pixley fought in the quarters of Nogi Worlds, and I wound up footlocking him. And winning that was kind of surreal, because when I was in nursing school, I wanted to do jiu-jitsu, that was my plan, but I didn't really know of anywhere nearby to train at, so I didn't do it. But I'd always told myself that I wanted to be a blue belt world champion, and then now we're here, and I'm ready to do purple belt, ready for the extra minute.
My name is Jessica Adams. I am a blue belt here at Triangle Academy. So Clay runs this free women's self-defense seminar, about 2 every year, so every 6 months. And I had just been looking up a self-defense class in the area, and I found an advertisement for his women's self-defense class, so I came in and learned a couple things like trap and roll for mount, and just a couple other very simple self-defense things. And sorry. And so from there, he was running a deal on 5 classes and a gi for a good deal, and so I started coming, and I came to my 5 classes, and I haven't stopped coming since. After graduating college, you get into a job and you don't always learn something. You're doing your job every day. A lot of times it's the same thing. So coming in here and getting to learn something every time I come in is really nice. I love that part of it. And then I also met a lot of friends through jiu-jitsu, which has been great, because this is my outside of work, de-stress, socialized time. So it's been great. When I started, I was only doing the morning classes based on my schedule, and where I live, the morning classes worked great because I would just come in the morning, take a shower, and go straight to work because my work's like 10 minutes away. And so it was always me and just like a room full of guys usually, and it was a small room full of guys at the beginning, but it's been growing through the years, and it was tough to get used to, especially like doing sports growing up. I was always in like all women's teams and stuff like that, so being around guys doing this, it was a new experience, but also it made me feel like I was going up against people that like I use self-defense for, so it's a good experience in that sense too. So I would say anyone can do it. I came into this with no aggressive bone in my body. I'd never done any, like, I didn't grow up with brothers. I didn't even know what wrestling was, and watching MMA online, like when my dad would watch it, I like had to close my eyes. So now I feel like understanding it more, it's a lot more fun to watch, and it's a lot more fun to be a part of. And when people ask, like, what do you do outside of work? And I say jiu-jitsu, it's like, if they do it, like, that's an automatic friend that you made. So I like that about it, too.
Blake came in a little over a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. He was cross-training from another gym in town and then ended up switching over here. But his progression just season over season, and even like within each season, his skill progression is incredible. He's great at studying film and technique. He's just a disciplined student of jiu-jitsu, and he trains his ass off when he's in the room. And he's just one of those guys that just levels the room up, you know? So when he's in the room, he's contributing not just to his own progression, but to everyone around him. He's been such an incredible training partner for me personally and for all the other athletes in the room. He really started taking a leadership role with the other varsity athletes, the younger guys, and helping them with their skill progressions and pushing everyone else. Coaches some of the classes even. So it's just been pretty incredible watching not only him get better, but just how he contributes to the room and makes everyone around him better.